Imagine this, you're a native English speaker and you want to learn enough Spanish or French or Italian so that when you travel to a city in the near future, maybe on holiday, you know enough to be able to navigate your way around the city. You know enough to be able to comfortably say left, right, where is this, how can I find XYZ, to speak with locals and be understood and also understand what they're saying back to you. In this video, I will cover that and tell you how to use ChatGPT AI to help you with that. My name's James, I'm a native English speaker. Puedo hablar español y aquí puedo hablar italiano. I help people reach a conversational level in a different language. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen and share what I'm typing into ChatGPT, the free version, to get this information. So what I'm going to type in is the following. Generate a list of the top 30 most common phrases in Spanish when it comes to navigating around a city centre. Make a table with the English translation on the left and a Spanish translation on the right. So let's see what ChatGPT generates in terms of the table. So now you can see the table's loading and it's come back with, as I asked for, 30 common Spanish phrases for navigating around a city centre. And obviously I wanted the translation, so I'll just put English on the left just as an example and Spanish on the right. Now realistically, if you wanted to do that for Italian or French or German or any other language, you just type in 30 most common phrases in the language you want to learn, so target language. So you can just change the language or anything about this for what you want. So you could have more, you could have 50, for example. Whatever you ask the ChatGPT, it will get you. On that note, I've created a free email course on how you can use ChatGPT to reach your language goals. It covers all languages because the principles are the same. You'll learn exactly what prompts you can use to best help you overcome any language struggles that you have and how to use ChatGPT in the most efficient way to help you with language learning. There's a link below if you're interested. So as we scroll down here, you can see things like where is the nearest bus stop, how do I get to the train station, and you can interchange like train station for bus stop or things like that essentially. But the point of this is this table gives you a perfect starting point. If you're quite new to Spanish or you want to know the basics of a different language, how to do it from a practical perspective. So you don't have to learn the grammar because where is the nearest train station? You just say that phrase as it is. You might want to copy and paste that into Google Translate to listen to what it should sound like by a native speaker.
¿Dónde está la estación de tren más cercana?
But in general, you don't need any grammar, you don't need anything like that. And if you say it relatively accurately in the right context to a native speaker when you're in the city that you're practicing it in, then they'll understand you. And as long as you say it slow enough and clear enough and near enough as you can get to what you can hear on Google Translate, then that's pretty much perfect. So as I scroll down here, you can see so many different options here. So it's really useful to know that you could just type that into ChatGPT and see all this information like this, condensed to exactly what you asked for rather than having to look into a textbook to find it, basically. Next, what I asked ChatGPT is to go down to the words and phrase level of it. So I want more granular details. I want to know what's left or right or straight on versus at the end of the road, that sort of thing. So I wanted to get more granular because that's important when it comes to mixing out those phrases above and putting the information that you want to put in there. So how far away is the train station? You might hear back, oh, second left or something, and you need to know what the word left is to be able to understand what the native speaker is saying to you in response. So here's what I'm going to type in now. Create a list of the top 50 words and phrases used in navigation. For example, left, right, straight ahead. All in Spanish, but include the English translations. Now I included an example because in the above table, you could see that it was quite long phrases. Now if I want to get quite granular and more specific, that's what you have to include. So as you can see here, it's given us a list of 50 essential Spanish words and phrases for navigation with English translations. So you can see left, right, straight ahead, north, south, east, west. A lot of the words here will be the words that you haven't even thought about using, like before, after, next to, in front of. So a lot of these things here are super useful that you may not even think of learning. But once you've got this, you don't just leave it and that's it. What you should then do is pretend you're in a situation, if you're going on a holiday to Spain or wherever, pretend you're in that situation and think to yourself, okay, if I was to do a role play here, what would I say? Oh, the second station on the left. And mix it up a bit. Try and even write down a few sentences as an example, if you prefer writing down, or speak it, whatever feels more natural or more fun to you. Try them out. Try saying, oh, the train station is around the corner, or the train station is a second corner on the left, and piece these words together. Quite often you'll be surprised at how, even if you piece them together and it's in the wrong order, you can still be understood by a native speaker. It's crazy because the same happens in your native language. If a foreigner speaks to you in your own language, I'd recommend though not having a list too long, because if you want to practice it and you've got a list of 1,000 different words, you're never going to get through it really. So make it manageable and make it so that when you have free time, like a spare 10 minutes, you can write it down and that's all you need to do. The most important key is do it little and often and you'll remember it for long term better. I hope you find this video useful. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to my channel and see you later.